Assalamu-Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Section 2.6 Erab Ul Aqsam al-Asma'il Mu'rabati, Erab of the various types of Mu'rab ism. We begin this section by defining some terms. Then we will outline the Erab of each of the various types of Mu'rab ism. So first I'm going to read from the book, and then I will try to explain if something comes up. Al-Ismus-Sahih. It is an ism which does not end with any of the huruful illah, that is alif, waw or ya. Second, Al-Ismul Qa'imu Maqam-as-Sahih. It is an ism which ends with waw or ya preceded by sukoon like dalvun or zabiyun. Al-Asma'u Sittatul Mukabbaratu. These are 6 ism which are not in the diminutive form musaggar. These are as follow: abun, akhun, hamun, famun, hanun, udhu. Al-Ismul Maqsoor. It is an ism which ends with alif al-maqsoora like Musa. Then we have Al-Ismul Manqus. It is an ism which ends with ya precedes by kasra. It should be remembered that the ya is visible in ism manqus when it is marifa. When it is nakira, the ya is not visible. Example, Al-Qazi becomes Qazin. However, in Halatun Nasbi, it does become visible. Raitu Qazin. Don't worry, I'm going to explain you everything inshallah. Let me first read. Before we list Erab of each of the various types of Mu'rab ism in a table, it would be useful to remember that a simple method of illustrating different Erab is to make 3 sentences on the following pattern: Halatul Jarri, Halatul Nasbi, Halatul Raf'i. Marartu bi Zaidin, Raitu Zaidan, Ja'a Zaidun. In these 3 sections, the word Zaidun is displaying the different Erab according to the changing state. Thus, it is a zam in halat rafi, and fatha in halat nasbi, and a kasra in halat jarri. Now, I'm going to skip this table because I'm going to explain you this in my way inshallah. So, everything will be mentioned in that explanation, so don't worry about it. Right now, I'm just skipping this. Okay. Let me explain you all these things inshallah first. So now in this video we are going to learn about the ism and its Arabic state. We have already read from the book, and now I'm going to explain you these things inshallah. So, as we have already discussed earlier, that there are 3 states of Erab. One is Halat Raf'i, another one is Halat Nasabi, and the third one is Halat Jarri. Now, this is the one of the most important chapter of Nahw. So, be careful and try to understand these concepts. When a word is wahid, in Halat Rafi, its Erab will be with Zamma like Rajulun. In Halat Nasbi, its Erab with Fatha like Rajulan. And in Halat Jarri, its Erab will be with Kasra like Rajulin. The same goes with Jama Mukassar. In Halat Rafi, its Erab will be with Zamma. In Halat Nasbi, its Erab will be with Fatha. And in Halat Jarri, its Erab will be with Kasra. Now the i'rab of tasniya, dual. So in halat rafi, when we want to use tasniya in halat rafi, instead of giving a pesh on it, we make tasniya with alif noon, like rajulani. In halat nasbi, with ya noon, like rajulaini. In halat jarri, with ya noon, rajulaini. Then we have jama muzakkar salim. So in halat rafi, the i'rab of jama muzakkar salim word is with waw noon. In halat nasbi, the i'rab of jama muzakkar salim is with ya noon, like muslimina, and same goes with halat jarri, muslimina. Then we have jama muannas salim. So in halat rafi, the i'rab of jama muannas salim is with pesh, muslimatun. But in halat nasbi and jarri, it's i'rab with zair, like muslimatin. So these are the i'rab of wahid, tasniya and jama. Now let's understand these i'rab by a proper example. Suppose if I am making rajulun, a wahid word, as file, so I will say nasara rajulun. But when I am making this rajulun word as maf'ul, I will say nasara zaidun rajulan. Why zabar? Because maf'ul have zabar. And when I add ala harfe jar on rajulun word, the i'rab will be rajulin, ala rajulin, ala rajulin. This is the example of wahid. Now let's understand the example of tasniya word. When I am making a tasniya word as a file, the i'rab of file is with pesh, so I am saying nasara rajulani. Now I am making this rajulani as a maf'ul, so I am saying nasara zaidun rajulaini. And the for example with ala harf jar, so the example of rajulaini with yanun, rajulaini. So this is in halat rafi, this is in halat nasbi, and this is in halat jarri state. This is the i'rab of tasniya word. Now there are two types of jama. One is jama mukassar, another one is jama salim. So the i'rab of jama mukassar is similar to i'rab of wahid word, so I am not going to use it. Now I am going to use example as jama muzakkar salim. So I will say nasara muslimuna in halat rafi. Now I am making muslimin as a maf'ul. Nasara zaidun muslimina in halat nasbi, and ala muslimina in halat jarri. So this is the i'rab of jama muzakkar salim. Now let's see the i'rab of jama muannas salim. Nasarat muslimatun in halat rafi, and nasara zaidun, here zaidun is the file, Muslimatin. Here Muslimatin is maful. So the i'rab of jama muannas salim in halat nasbi state is with zair, and when we add ala harf jar on this jama muannas salim, its i'rab will is again with zair, ala muslimatin. So this is the i'rab of wahid, tasniya and jama. Now let's understand the i'rab of a ghair munsarif word. I'rab of ghair munsarif word. So when I'm ghair munsarif does not accept alif, tanween and zair. So in halat rafi, its i'rab will be with pesh, nasara Ibrahimu. In halat nasbi, now I am making Ibrahim as a maful. So nasara Zaidun Ibrahima. And when I add ala on Ibrahim, it still have the i'rab with fatha, because in halat jarri the i'rab of ghair munsarif is with fatha, because zair cannot be possible on ghair munsarif. So ala Ibrahima. So this is the i'rab of ghair munsarif word. Now there are few words which is called isme maqsoor, like Musa, a word which is having al ya khara zabar in the end, like Musa, Isa. All these words are equal in every state. So in halat raf'i it will be written as Musa. In halat nasabi it is still same Musa, and in halat jarri it is still same Musa. So its i'rab is not visible. Now another word is isme manqus, al ismul manqus, manqus. So this isme manqus has two different types of i'rab. First, understand what type of ism are known as isme manqus. Our ism which ends with ya sukun is isme manqus. For example, al-qazi, al-qazi. So this is isme manqus. So its i'rab is little bit tricky and different. If these type of word have alif lam on it, if this type of word have alif lam on it, in halat raf'i they will be written like this, al-qazi. In halat nasbi they will be written like this, al-qaziya, al-qaziya. And in halat jarri they will be written like al-qazi with ya sukun. So in halat rafi state and in halat jarri state with ya sukun, and in halat nasbi state with fatha on it. When then these words are followed by alif lam or preceded by alif lam. But if we remove the alif lam on it, then in halat raf'i these ya will be removed and it will become qazin. In halat nasabi ya is added again, qaziyan. And in halat jarri ya removed again, qazin. This is the i'rab of isme manqus. Now there are some different words, so we are going to discuss right now. So as compared to these discussion, what I am going to tell you now is little bit more difficult. So pay your total attention towards the lesson now. There is one word which is known as zu and ulu. Okay, then we have sorry. Then we have kilta and kila. Consider this is a kaf and this lam word. Zu, ulu, kilta or kila. Zu, ulu, kilta and kila. What is common between all these words are that they always becomes muzaf, and the word comes after it is muzaf ilay, like zu ilmin, a person with ilm, ulu ilmi, a person with ilm. Both have the same meaning, but kila and kilta is little bit different. Kila is tasniya word, kilta is tasniya word. The actual letter of kilta was actually kiltani because it's tasniya. The tasniya becomes with alif noon, and the real formation of kila is actually kilani. But these words become muzaf. So whenever tasniya becomes muzaf, their noon is eliminated. That's why instead of saying kiltani, we say kilta, and instead of saying kilani, we said kila. So kilta needs a muannas muzaf ilay with tasniya. So we can say kiltal imra'atani, two women. And kila need a muzakkar muzaf ilay and again tasniya. So kila rajulaini, two men. So kila and kilta is used to emphasize the meaning. They do not have any separate meaning in the translation. If you couldn't understand this right now, try to repeat this video again and watch few more times. You will get it, inshallah. It's not a bigger deal or not a complicated one. Now, similar to kila and kilta, a word from like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, like ishroon, salasoon, arbaoon, khamsoon, sittoon, sab'oon, thamanoon, tis'oon, 20, 30, 40. So in all these letters we have waw noon in the end. So it's like Jama Muzakkar Salim. So in halat rafi they will be written as with waw noon, and in halat nasbi and jarri they will be written as ya noon. Ishreen, Salasin, Arba'in. Okay, understood now? That is all what discussed in this chapter. Now let's move to the another section of this chapter. There is a one ism, category of ism, which is known as sahih. Sahih means clean. It means any word which does not have one of the huruf illat in it, like that is alif, waw or ya, that word will be sahih. For example, when I am writing rajulun, rajulun does not have alif, waw or ya, so rajulun will be considered as sahih word. Then we have another word which is called sittatu mukabbaru. These are the word which have only two letter inside it. Asma'u sittatul mukabbira is the category of ism which has only two letter. For example, when I am writing Abu, so Abu is only two letter, one is alif, another one is ba. So it's very similar to harf and it is uncommon in ism. So that's why they have a very special attention and name. So their i'rab is little bit different. When we are using these asma sitta mukabbira in halat rafi, we add waw instead of pesh. In halat nasbi we add alif instead of zabar, and in halat jarri we add ya instead of zair. So waw equivalent to pesh, alif equivalent to zabar, and ya equivalent to zair. But this is possible when these words are used without muzaf ilay to wahid mutakallim. For example, if you make these words as a muzaf and wahid mutakallim as a muzaf ilay, what does it mean? For example, when you want to say my father, so abun means father, and when you add ya means my. So when you say abi means my father, so there is a ya sakin in it. So now its i'rab will be similar to manqus, the example I showed you, qazi. Okay. Now there is nothing left from this chapter. Now let's come to the exercise. Translate, fill in the i'rab, and identify which rules among those given in the table. Naji'u al-fata min al-gharq. Okay, so no, it's not naji'u. Naja al-fata min al-gharq. Naja means save. Youth save from drowning. Al-iqtisadu sabilul ghina. Because these words have ya sukun, ya having khara zabar on it, so in every condition their i'rab is pronounced similarly. Al-iqtisadu mubtada, sabilul ghina muzaf ilay. Saving is a path of wealthy. Nahtarimu al-qaziya. Here qazi is maful, so with fatha. We respect the judge. Nadaitu alamina. I called, amilina. I called the workers. Kanat talamizu muntabihina. The students were active. Hajama tha'labu ala dajajati. Dajati ghar munsarif. Jama muannas salim. Hajama tha'labu. The fox attack on the rooster. Igsil, it's amr. Igsil faka. Wash your mouth. Bada kulli ta'amin, after every food. Bada always become muzaf. The same goes with the kulli as well. So bada and kullu always become muzaf. Now we have chapter 3. Further discussion of ism. Al-ismul mansub, the relative adjective. Definition. It is that ism which shows something or someone to be related to it. Like Baghdadiyun, someone or something from Baghdad. Sarfiyun, an expert in morphology, person who reads sarf. Nahwiyun, an expert in Arabic grammar, the person who study Nahw. Hindiyun, someone from India or something from India. Rules for creating al-ismul mansub. To show this relation, ya'un nisbatil mushaddadatu. So ya mushaddad precedes by kasra is added at the end of ism after the following changes. If a 3-letter or a 4-letter ism ends with alif maksura, then alif maksura should be changed to waw. So Isa become Isawiyu. So the first rule is that if a word is 3-letter or 4-letter and that word ends with alif maksura, then that alif maksura will be converted into yae maksur, wawe maksur. Wawe maksur means a waw having kasra on it, and then at the end the yae mansub, that is ya with tashdid, will be added. Now note, in the case of 5 letter, if the word is 5 letter and ends with ya khara zabar or alif maksura, then there the ya will be dropped. Ya having ya khara zabar or ya madda, we can say, should be dropped, and only ya mushaddad, that is the ya of relation, will be added. So from Mustafa it becomes Mustafiyu. Now the second rule is that if an ism ends with an alif mamduda, that is alif or hamza, then the hamza should be changed to waw. So sama'un becomes samawiyun. Now the third rule is that ism which already ends with a ya does not require ya'un nisbati. For example, shafi'un, a word which already have a relative ya added in the beginning, added in the ending, so there is no need to add any other additional ya. For example, when we are saying shafiyun, hanafiyun, so here the ya is already added, so there is no need to add another ya. The round ta at the end of an ism should be dropped. So Makkatu become Makkiyun and Fatimatu become Fatamiyun. Rule number 5. The round ta and ya of an ism which appears on the wazan of fa'ilatun and fu'ilatun should be dropped. So Madinatun becomes Madaniyun and Juhainatun become Juhaniyun. So here the ya will be removed. Point number 6. In the case of ism which appears on the wazan of fa'ilun, we don't know, you don't know about wazan if you haven't learned the sarf and bab. So still, if you don't know, just read it and move it, because this is the very rarest chapter in the Nahw. Wazanun of fa'ilun and ends with ya, then the first ya should be changed to waw preceded by fatha, and the second ya should be dropped. So Aliyun become Aliyun or Alawiyun. If the fourth letter of ism is ya preceded by kasra, then the ya can be dropped or it can be changed to waw. So from Dehli it become Dehliyun or Dehlawiyun. If an original letter from the end of an ism was dropped, it should first be brought back, and then the ism mansoob should be made. So from abun, the first waw is added and then it become abawiyun or akhawiyun. Point number 9. Some words do not follow any particular rule, they are based on uses, like nurun, nuraniyun, haqqun, haqqaniyun. From the ism mansoob, find the following words: nabiyun, nabawiyun, misrun, misriyun. From Misru, Misriyun. From Baizau, Baizawiyun. From Musa, Musawiyun. And from Kufa, Kufiyun. Now we have Al-Ismut Tasgir, diminutive ism. It is an ism which is used to express the diminutive form of an ism. Sometimes the purpose is to show affection or contempt. Rules: a 3-letter ism would come on the wazan of fu'ailun, or if it muannas, then fu'ailatun. For example, rajulun becomes rujailun. So rajulun means man, but when we convert rajulun to rujailun, it means little man. Abdun means slave, but when we say ubaidun, it means little slave. So ism tasgir is generally used when we want to show disrespect, or we want to express the disquality into anything. A 4-letter ism would come on the wazan of fu'ailun, like Jafar becomes Ju'aifirun. A 5-letter ism with waw, alif or ya as the fourth would also come on the wazan of fu'ailun. The 5th letter would be dropped. From Safarjalun it become Sufayrij, a name of a plant. A 5-letter ism having alif, waw or ya as the fourth letter would come on the scale of fu'ailun, like from kirtasun it become kuraytisin. This is not important chapter, so you can just escape it. It's not a big deal. In the diminutive form, the hidden ta of muannas simai becomes apparent. So shamsun is a muannas word. How we are saying that? Because the shamsun was actually shamshatun. So when we make a tasgir, that ta comes. So shamsun become shumai satun. In the diminutive form, the last letter of an ism which has been dropped becomes apparent. So ibnun, which is actually banun, so becomes bunayun. Now form the diminutive ism from the following words. So akrabun becomes uqayrabun, sultan becomes sulaytinun, usfurun becomes usfurun. So it's a 5-letter word. So usaifirun, from the scale of kuraytisun, usaifirun. Then kalbun becomes kulaybun, arzun become arizatun, and kamrun become kamiratun or kumairatun. Now we have al-marifatu wa nakiratu, the definite and the indefinite ism. I have already explained you, so I'm just going to read it. Nakira, indefinite ism, it is an ism which denotes something unspecified. Example, rajulun, a man. Marifa, a definite ism, it is an ism which denotes something specific. There are 7 types of marifa. Zamir, it is a personal pronoun. It has been discussed earlier in 2.4.1. Alamun, it is a proper name, that is name of a specific person, place or thing. For example, Zaidun, Makkah or Zamzam. Ismul Isharati, it is a demonstrative ism. It has been discussed. Ismul Mausul, it is a relative pronoun. Al-Mu'arrab bil-Lam, it is an ism which has alif lam, a definite particle at the beginning, like ar-rajulu, the man. In that indefinite nakira, which is muzaf to any of the 5 definite ism. The point number 6 is just telling you that whenever there is a muzaf ilay marifa, its muzaf will be always marifa. And point number 7 is munada, it is a vocative ism, an ism which appears after harfenida, like ya rajulu. Exercise, which of the following words are marifa, state what type and which are nakira. Al-farsu is marifa with alif lam. Nahnu is marifa because it's a zamir. Sayyaratul lazi is here, sayyaratu is marifa because it's muzaf ilay. Al-lazi is marifa because it is isme mawsul. Ya waladu is marifa because munada is always marifa. Makkatu is marifa because it's the name of a city. Zalika is a marifa because it's a isme ishara. Samakun is nakira because of tanween. And Saifu Rajuli, Saifu is here marifa because it's muzaf ilay, ar-rajuli is marifa. Al-ismul muzakkaru wal muannasu, the masculine or feminine ism. Al-ismul muzakkaru, it is an ism which do not have any sign from amongst the sign of femininity, like alamatut tanis. And ismul muannas, so the definition of muzakkar is that any ism which is not muannas is muzakkar. Al-ismul muannas, it is an ism which has a sign from amongst the sign of a femininity. This sign could be apparent or hidden. Alamatut tanis, sign of the ism. The sign of being feminine are of 2 types. Lafziyun means it is present in the word itself. It is a sign which is visible in word. These signs are of the following 3 types. Ta, round ta, this renders the word al-ismul muannas even if the ta appears in the masculine proper. Example, sayyaratun is muannas. Then we have alif maksura, that's sugra or hubla. Then we have alif mamduda like hamra'u and baisau. Here the word talha. So talha is actually is a muannas, muzakkar word with a muannas sign. So here talha is not a muannas word but a muzakkar word. So it is just an exception. Then if a word has any of these 3 signs, it will be isme muannas. Now we have taqdiri. Taqdiri means a word which sign a word a muannas in which there is no such sign of muannas is visible in the word itself. We assume that this is muannas. It is a sign which is not visible in words and it is assumed to exist. This is determined by looking at the diminutive form tasgir of a particular word. This reveals the original letter of the word. So Arjun is actually Uraizatun. So Uraizatun is muannas word, so that's why Arjun is muannas. Shamsun, its diminutive form is Shumaisatun. Shumaisatun is muannas, so its original form Shamsun is also muannas. Now based on the sign of femininity being lafzi and taqdiri, ism are of two types. One is called al-muannas al-qayasi, which means according to the rule. If it is a feminine ism which has a sign of which has a lafzi sign of femininity. So in general, the muannas is divided into two parts. One is muannas qayasi and another one is muannas simai. Muannas qayasi means a muannas whose sign is present in the word, and muannas simai means a muannas whose sign is not present in word. We heard from the Arabians and then we use it as a muannas. And in the term of zat, essence, al-ismul muannas is of two types. One is muannas hakiki, it is a feminine muannas which has an opposite masculine. Like imraatun, its masculine is rajulun. So there is also one type category of muannas which is based on the essence and zat or person, where if any word which has anything or any animal or human or anything which masculine male or which opposite gender is present, then that word will be known as muannas. For example, imratun. So the imratun has two signs. One, imratun having the sign of muannas in it, but there is also another reason for imratun as to become muannas. Why? The opposite gender of imratun, that is rajulun, is available. And then we have muannas lafziyu. It is a feminine ism which does not have any opposite masculine, like zulmatun and ainun. So I have explained you all these things by little bit difference. Okay, just remember the way I told you. The following are used as feminine names of a females like Maryam, Zainab. Words denoting to the feminine gender like Ukhtun, Ummun. Names of the countries, cities, towns and tribes like Quraysh or Misr. Parts of the body found in pairs like Yadun or Uznun. These are the exceptions to rule. Khaddun, cheek. Hajibun, eyebrow, etc. are masculine. So these are exceptions like Khaddun, cheek and Hajibun, eyebrow. These are pairs, but they are muzakkar. Names of various type of wind like Sarsarun, Rihun. Various names of Jahannam like Sakaru or Jahannamu. The letters of alphabet, that is al-huruful hijaiyatu, is muannas like alif, ba, ta, sa. There are some words that Arab use as a feminine without regard to the presence or absence of a sign of femininity. Examples are like dulvun, nafsun, harsun, narun, birun and darun. Then we have section 3.5, wahid, tasniya and jama, singular, dual and plural. Wahid, singular, it is an ism which denotes one of something like rajulun, one man. Tasniya, it is an ism which denotes two of something. It is formed by placing at the end of singular wahid one of the following: an alif preceded by fatha and followed by a noon with a kasra, that is alif noon, in halat rafi, and in halat nasbi and jarri the ya noon, that is rajulani and rajulaini. Jama, it is a ism which denotes more than two of something like rijalun, more men. So jama, the noon of tasniya and jama is dropped in izafat. I already explained you the noon of tasniya and jama muzakkar salim is removed when it become muzaf. Translate the following into Arabic. The boys two bicycle. So first write the meaning of boys. Waladu, two bicycles. Waladu darraja taini. The farmer's two servant. Okay, sorry, it's a mistake. You know, we have to reverse it. So here we have to write like this: darrajata waladin, the two bicycle of a boy. The farmer's two servant. आमिला और खादिमा फल्लाहिन. Your parents came. जाआ अबवैका. I saw your parents. रअयतु abaka. Abavaika we can say. Abavaika. Abavaika means mother, father, both. The servants of Deen. Khadimu ad-Dini. The teachers of school. Muallimu al-Madrasati. These all are the examples, the exercise based on when the muzaf is tasniya or jama muzakkar salim and its noon is removed. Then we have aqsamul jama, types of plural. One is jama salim, a sound plural. It is a plural word whose sega, letter sequence form wahid, does not change when its plural is made. In other words, the singular letter sequence does not break. Like from Muslim it become Muslimuna. There are two types of jama salim. One is jama muzakkar salim, which is formed by adding wawnun or yanun in halat rafi and nasbi, and then we have jama muannas salim, which is formed by adding alif ta with pesh in halat rafi and alif ta with zair in halat nasbi and jarri, like muslimatun, muslimatin, muslimatin. Then we have jama al mukassar, the broken plural. It is a plural whose sega, the form of wahid changes when its plural is made. For example, from rajulun it became rajulin. In simple way, just remember that there are rules for making jama salim, but there are no such rule for making jama mukassar. Then we have jama killat and jama kasrat. Jama killat means restricted plural. It is a plural which denotes a number from 3 to 10. It has a 4 common scale. One scale is af'ulun, means nafsun, meaning is self, and jama is anfus. Then we have af'alun scale, on which qawlun, which jama is aqwalun. Then we have af'ilatun scale, which singular is ta'amun, for example, and its jama is at'imatun. So you don't have to remember these scales and anything. Just remember there is a jama killat. Jama killat has a 4 scale, and jama killats represent from 3 to 9. So I told you that jama generally tell you from more than 2, but when it's jama killat, it's more than 2 but less than 10. Then we have jama kasrat. It is a plural which denotes a number from 3 to infinite. There are some scales, you can read it. Then we have jam'ul jam'i. Jam'ul jam'i means a word which is already jama, but then we have created a more jama for it. For example, an'um is already the jama of na'im, but we have an'um is a jama, and then the jama of an'um is ana'imu. So it is a jama of jama, the plural of plural. Then we have muntahal jumu. I have already explained you what is jama muntahal jumu. It has a capability of become a 2 reason for gar munsarif. There are some scale like mafa'ilu. You can check this scale. For understanding the scale better, you have to read the sarf, because I cannot explain you the scales and fine, lam, kalima and wazan in Nahw chapter, because it will take a lot of time. So for a scale you need to learn from sarf. If you still have some problem in understanding the scales and wazan, I can make a separate video for it, but during the Nahw session I cannot explain you those things. Then we have ismu jama. Ismul jama means a word which is singular in nature but have the meaning of plural. For example, qawmun means nation, rahatun means group. So qawm and rahat, they both are a wahid word, but we know the qawm does not mean one people, but it has a meaning of jama. So but they also have a jama, like the jama of qawm is aqwam, rahat is arhat, and these words can be treated in the both ways. They can be treated as wahid and they can be treated as jama. So if these words are becoming mawsuf, you can use the sifat as wahid as well as jama, like qawmun salihun or qawmun salihuna, both is right. Now there are some different types of jama. For example, the jama of imratun is nisa, the jama of zu is ulu, the jama of ummun is ummahatun, famun is afwahu, ma'un miyaun, insanun unasun, shatun shiyatun. Then we have ismul jins, generic ism. It is an ism which is devised for an essence, mahiyatun, because of that. It is referred to an entire genus, category, class. Generally, it is a singular as ta. For example, shajarun refers to the trees. Its singular is shajaratun. Nakhlun refer to the date palm trees. Its singular is nakhlatun. Exercise. What type of plural are the following words? Sa'imatun jama muannas salim, masabihu jama muntuhul jumu, sa'imuna jama muzakkar salim, jaishun is wahid, biladun is jama mukassar, ibilun is wahid, aqlabun is jam'ul jama, kutubun is jama mukassar, and ganamun is wahid. Then we have marfu'at. I have already explained you what is marfu'at, but yes, we are going to learn few more things in this video. There are 8 words that are always in the state of rafa. These are fa'il, naib fa'il, mubtada khabar, khabaru inna wa akhwatiha, ismu kana wa akhwatiha. So I have explained you up to this one. Ismu ma wa la mushtahabaini bilais and khabaru la allati li nafi jins. This one is, these two are new. Some of these had been discussed before, like mubtada khabar were discussed, khabru inna wa akhwatiha was discussed, and ism of kana wa akhwatiha was discussed earlier. First is fa'il, subject or doer. Definition: it is the doer of the action or of something of the meaning contained in the fi'l. The fa'il either be a personal pronoun like ismu zahir. Zahir means visible in word after the fi'l. We have discussed personal pronoun before. Now we will discuss the fi'l should be of the various type of the fa'il. Rule number 1. If the fa'il is zahir, muannas, haqiqiyu, there is no word between the fi'l and fa'il, then fa'il will be wahid and muannas, like qamat aishatu. There is a fi'l, there is a fa'il. If fa'il is zamir muannas, okay, and then the muannas and its singularity, duality or plurality will be according to the preceding ism that refers to. For example, al-muallimatu nasarat. So here al-muallimatu is written first, so this is wahid, so fi'l is wahid. Al-muallimatani is tasniya, so fi'l is tasniya, and muallimatun is jama, so fi'l is jama. So what we understood here is that if fa'il is written after fi'l, fa'il is wahid, tasniya and jama, it does not matter, fi'l will be remains wahid in the case of qamat aishatu. But if the fa'il is written before fi'l, if the fa'il is wahid, fi'l will be wahid. If fa'il is tasniya, fi'l will be tasniya, and if fa'il is jama, fi'l will be jama in the case of this one. Now why it happened? Because now this sentence is actually mubtada and this one is khabar. So we know there should be a similarities between mubtada and khabar. So now this sentence is no longer fi'l and fa'il but mubtada and khabar. That's why the fi'l should be according to mubtada. Rule number 3. If the fa'il is zahir, muannas, haqiqi, and then there is a word between the fi'l and fa'il, so the wahid or muzakkar or muannas, like qara'a al-yawm aishatu or qara'at al-yawm aishatu, both are right. So the third rule is that suppose there is a fi'l and there is a fa'il, but between fi'l and fa'il there is another word. So at that time we have an option to use the muzakkar fi'l or a muannas fi'l. Both are correct. Rule number 4. Zahirun muannasun ghairu haqiqiyin. Wahid muzakkar muannas. And if a word if a file is muannas ghair hakiki, a muannas which does not have a opposite gender, so at that time we can use a muzakkar fail or a muannas fail. Both is right. Shamsun is here file and Shamsun is a muannas, but this type of muannas does not have a muzakkar gender, opposite gender, so we can use a muzakkar fail as well as a muannas fail. And if the file is jama mukassar, we can use a muzakkar fail as well as a muannas fail. So qalatir rijalu, here the qalat is muannas and qala rijalu, here qala is muzakkar. So in this case we can use a muzakkar as well as a muannas fail. There is no problem with that. So what we understood so far, just remember, if file comes after fail and there is no word between fail and file, fail will be wahid and according to the gender of file. But if there is a difference, there is another word between fail and file, then that time a fail can be muzakkar and muannas. If the file is jama mukassar, again the fail can be muzakkar or muannas. If file is muannas gair hakiki, then again fail can be muzakkar as well as muannas. Now point number 6. If file is isme zahir and wahid, so even the file is tasniya or jama, fail will be always wahid, which I already explained you, that zaraba rajulu, zaraba rajulani, zaraba rijalun. Here the file is wahid, tasniya and jama, but the fail remains the same. And if file is a zamir muzakkar, the same thing happened, I told you earlier, like al khadimu zahaba, al khadimani zahabani, al khadimuna zahabu. So here this is actually mubtada khabar, al khadimu is mubtada and zahaba is khabar, so they have to be similar in wahid tasniya jama as well as muzakkar muannas. And ar rijalu qamat, ar rijalu qamu, already explained you these things. Now fill in the suitable fail in the space. So al waladani nasara, I am using a fail which you already familiar with and common use. So al waladani nasara, two boys help. Second one is qala or qalat, both can be used. Qala at-tullabu, a student said, or qalat at-tullabu, a student said. We can say qala or qalat an-nisa'u, because nisa is muannas. We can say jara, jara means float, or jarat safinatu. Al-atfalu, we can say kamu or kamat. And then we can say qala or qalat al-yawma imratun. Why? The reason is obvious. Look for it. Then we have section 3.7.2. File, substitute of file, which is known as naib file, or maful malam yusamma fa'iluhu. So naib file is actually maful, which is been named after file. Definition: it is an ism which is the file of fele majhul. The original file is dropped and the maful bihi substitute it. This is why it is called naib file, substitute of file, or maful malam yusamma fa'iluhu, such maful whose file is not mentioned. Nusira Zaidun, Zaid was helped. The doer is not known or mentioned. I already explained you all these things. The same fail file uses rules applies as mentioned above. So the rules of file and naib file both are same. Futiha al-bab, futiha fele majhul, al-bab naib file. Exercise: convert the following fele majhul with its naib file. So saraka al-lassu al-mala. So this is the fele maruf. What happened in fele majhul? The maf'ul comes on the place of fa'il and fa'il is removed, so it becomes surika al malu. Then we have fataha zaidun al abwaba, so it becomes futiha al abwabu. It becomes na'budullaha, so the fa'il is removed and it becomes yu'badullahu. Then we have zabaha rajulu ash-shata, so it becomes shatu and zubiha shatu. Convert the following fi'l, fa'il and maf'ul. So here we have tuhlabul baqaratu, so you can say tahlibu al baqarata. Then we have quti'atiz zaharata, so you can say qata'ata az-zahrata. Qata'ata az-zahrata, you plucked the flower. Su'ila al-muallimu, so you can say sa'alta al-muallima, you ask the question to the muallim. Shuriba al-labana, so you can say shuribta or shariba zaidun, whatever you want to say, al-labana, but you have to make it maf'ul. Then we have ismu wa ma wa la mushabbahataini. It's very easy actually. See, there is a word ma and a la. It's very similar to inna and kana. Both inna and kana comes before mubtada and khabar, and it's changed the i'rab of mubtada and khabar and also its name. The same thing happened with the ma and la also. It comes before mubtada and khabar and they change the i'rab of mubtada and khabar. So see, before ma it was zaidun qa'imun, but when ma is added it becomes zaidun and it changed the i'rab of khabar. So ma is like kana. Okay, so now zaidun becomes the ism of ma and qa'iman becomes the khabar of ma, and the translation will be in negative. So ma zaidun qa'iman, Zaid was not standing. La rajulun afzala minka, so la rajulun is its ism and afzala is khabar. Similarly, laisa is I already explained you what is laisa. So sometimes ma act like a laisa. How? It gives harf jar on khabar similar to laisa. The effect of ma and la is cancelled if any of the following things occur when the khabar appears before ism. Yes, when the mubtada khabar change its place. For example, the khabar change its place with mubtada, then the effect of ma will be cancelled. In i'rab, not in translation, ma gives the negative meaning, it will remain same in the translation as well. Second, the word illa appears before the khabar, the negating the negative meaning of la and ma, like Muhammadun illa rasulun. So whenever between mubtada and khabar there is a illa added, then that time also the effect of ma will be removed. And third is, if the ism or the khabar of la is not nakira, like la al madinatu kabiratun. So here the ism is not nakira but the marifa. So here also the effect of la is converted. So the what is the difference between the ma and la is that ma comes before mubtada and khabar, but la comes on mubtada and khabar, but only on those type of mubtada where mubtada is marifa, not marifa but nakira. Okay, these are a very rare use, so you will find hardly in the book, inshallah, so don't worry about it. Then we have khabaru allati li nafi jins. This one is little bit difficult, and it is actually widely used in Arabic language. So this la is actually used to deny the category and class of everything. For example, when I am saying la rajula qa'iman, qa'imun, it means no man is standing. It means there is not a single man who is standing. It is possible that there are women who are standing, but not a single man. So it's completely deny the gender and the class. That's why it is known as li nafil jins, to denial of gender. There are some certain uses which you can read. There is nothing to explain in it, but let me see, like okay, wait, video is a little longer. I'm going to stop it and then start the new one.